Chapter 2016, The Seeds of Suspicion. Odin was blind in one eye, his left eye a black hole, which looked a little scary, but his whole demeanor became more profound, as if he had broken through his own shackles and gained even more powerful strength. The one-eyed god of war was even more awe-inspiring than before. On Columbia's side, the good old Sharon led his men and waved to the others from afar. However, his vampire soldiers looked to have suffered heavy losses. More than half of them were missing, and some of the remaining ones were missing limbs. It was clear that both teams had fought a bloody battle before arriving here. Zhang used the same tactic again, keeping them at a distance and looking at them cautiously. "There is a traitor among us." Everyone's expressions became serious, and they looked at each other, thinking and suspecting one another. On my way here, I encountered a lord of the netherworld. His ability is to collect the souls of the strong who died in battle in this place and turn them into his slaves. I also encountered the undead spirit of Odibio. He looked coldly at the others. I don't know why Odibio died, but I can't rule out the possibility that he was killed by one of his own people. The Lord of the Netherworld is terrifying, but the Aoshi clan has a secret technique for fighting him. It shouldn't be that easy for the Lord of the Netherworld to kill him. So I have reason to suspect that one of you killed him. As the first victim, Zhang Yi was the most trustworthy. After all, from the perspective of the battlefield at that time, the blow from behind clearly came from someone as powerful as a bishop. Not to mention that Zhang Yi helped everyone escape from the Bronze Pillar array. Naturally, everyone believed what he said. Then what do you think we should do? If we suspect each other, how should we proceed? Cardalus crossed his arms and asked the question while looking at the other team members. Just then, Olive said, "I have a way to test who is lying." After he finished speaking, he beckoned to someone beside him. A female knight with short golden hair stepped forward. Her eyes were almost pure white, with no pupils, but they seemed to shine brightly, as if they could see through the darkness. This female knight under my command has the ability of holy judgment. One of her abilities is to detect whether other people are lying. As long as you all accept her test, you will know who has done something wrong to everyone. A sharp gleam flashed in Zhang Yi's eyes. If they really did that, wouldn't his plan fail? Who knew that when Olive made this suggestion, no one else agreed? Because speaking up would make them look guilty and possibly a traitor. But agreeing to Olive's request? Don't be ridiculous. He said that was the female knight's ability, and you actually believed him? What if this was his plot, and he deliberately said that others were lying? Would you believe him or not? Only they knew whether the female knight's ability was real or not. Yang Xinxin also considered this point and stood beside Zhang Yi and said, "Mr. Olive, you haven't considered one issue." Hearing Yang Xinxin speak, Olive also looked over at her. Yang Xinxin was a minor member of Zhang Yi's team. Perhaps it was because Zhang Yi's brilliance was too dazzling that the people around him didn't receive much attention. Even when others investigated Zhang Yi's team, they tended to focus their attention on Flower, Liang Yu, and Lu Karen. This was because they were more dazzling in combat and mechanics. Most people only knew that Yang Xinxin was the computer genius by Zhang Yi's side, but rarely saw her play a role on the front lines. Therefore, she couldn't be said to be completely ignored, but she was rarely noticed. Olive still respected women, so he nodded and said, "Miss, what is your question?" Yang Xinxin said lightly, "Right now, all of you are suspected of betraying my brother. So why should anyone believe your ability users? I'm just saying it's a possibility. Suppose you were the one who attacked my brother. Then you found one of your mutants and told her to accuse someone else of being a traitor. Is that possible?" The mutants from the other teams nodded in agreement. "Indeed, you people from the Holy See are also suspects, so you cannot be given the power to make a decision. Now everyone is a suspect. Unless you can produce concrete evidence, no one can be cleared of suspicion." Zhang Yi suddenly had an idea and said, "But his suggestion reminds me of something. Actually, our young lady also has the ability to make people tell the truth." He looked at Yang Xinxin and said, "Let me introduce her to everyone. Her code name in the mutant realm of the Huashu Kingdom is Queen Mother of the West, and she also has the ability to make people tell the truth. If you don't trust Bishop Olive, then you should at least trust me, right? After all, I'm the only other victim. After listening to her, everyone shook their heads. Olive said, Your Excellency Chaos, it's not that we don't believe in your innocence. It's just that your style of doing things makes people wary. Cardalus chuckled, Everyone can see what kind of person you are, Chaos. Stop trying to trick us. The others smiled, but they all meant the same thing. They were all shrewd people. How could they be so easily fooled? Zhang Yi felt a little regretful. If he could strike them with an arrow, they would become Yang Xinxin's slaves in the time that followed, and he would be able to control the entire situation. But continuing like this is not a solution. We have already reached this weak water abyss, and we are suspicious of each other. How can we cross the sea to seal the demon god? Serial, the angel of the moon, said doubtfully. Zhang Yi wanted to test the reaction of this group of people, so he deliberately said, Don't worry about that, someone has already gone ahead of us. As soon as he said this, everyone's eyes became sharp and they looked at Zhang Yi. Who is it? How could someone have gone ahead of us? Isn't everyone here? Zhang Yi said, It's the dragon clan from under the Qinling Mountains. The seal on this place seems to be related to their clan. That's why they sent someone over. He shrugged, You should know how powerful this clan is. We can't stop them from doing what they want. Hearing that the Qinling Dragon Clan was involved, everyone fell silent. The power of the Dragon Clan was well known to all, and if they really wanted to do something, no one could stop them. Chapter 2017, Crossing the Sea. When Zhang Yi said this, his eyes swept across everyone's faces. He noticed that Olive's brow furrowed slightly, as if he was reluctant to see the Dragon Clan get involved in this matter. This guy is definitely hiding something from me. Zhang Yi thought coldly to himself. But it seems that these people, including me, all have their own agendas. Sealing the demon god and saving the world are just excuses, their true goals are something else entirely. Odin and the others had different expressions on their faces, their thoughts unknown. Since that's the case, let's hurry and cross the sea. The Dragon Clan will need some help sealing the demon god, said Olive. Odin looked at him with one eye, but we haven't found the traitor among us yet. Olive said, Time waits for no one. If we're one step too late, the Dragon Clan might get all the benefits. No matter what conflicts we had before, or who attacked His Excellency Chaos for their own purposes, our goal is the same right now. It's like being on the same boat in a storm. The best choice is to sail to the other side first and think about other things later. Zhang Yi took half a step back and said indifferently, Life and death are predestined, and wealth and honor are in the hands of heaven. Now that we're here, there's no turning back. Besides, none of us knows how to leave this godforsaken place, so we have no choice but to move forward. Each team must maintain a certain distance from one another, ensuring that every team remains within the sight of at least two other teams. If there really is a traitor, they will inevitably reveal themselves once we reach the other shore. His eyes narrowed, and a murderous intent flashed in them. Once we identify the traitor, everyone must act immediately and eliminate them on the spot. What do you all think? Who supports this proposal, and who opposes it? The others thought about it and decided that they didn't want to waste any time. Besides, without any evidence, they couldn't confirm who the traitor was, so they had no choice but to cross the weak water first. I agree with Chaos's suggestion. Saladin said first. Sharon thought for a moment, then smiled and said, We have no objections. Seeing this, the others nodded in agreement one after another. Zhang Yi then went to Prince Matsuri and the other two and said, Your Highness, please transform and take us across the sea. Without a word, Prince Matsuri's body twisted, then spread out on the surface of the sea like a large pancake. Soon, a layer of yellow liquid appeared, then rapidly expanded and turned into a huge sponge boat. Everyone boarded the ship, which was spacious enough for them to keep a safe distance from each other. At the moment, Zhang Yi was the most reliable one. He thought for a moment and approached Saladin. Saladin was not looking well. The saliva from the mountain of corruption was continuously corroding his body, and Amir could only use entropy reduction to slow down the corrosion, but he couldn't completely eliminate it. Your Excellency, chaos. Saladin saw Zhang Yi coming and smiled kindly. Zhang Yi said, your injuries don't look good. Let my doctor take a look at you. Zhou Qi had now broken through to the Epsilon realm, and her pair of magical hands could be described as having the power to bring the dead back to life. Of course, they couldn't really bring the dead back to life, but as long as the patient wasn't dead, they could often save their lives. Zhang Yi wanted to treat Saladin for his own reasons. Saladin was a member of the pupil organization, and the pupil organization had a good relationship with him. Even though he hadn't joined, there was no need to offend them. Besides, he had a good impression of Saladin himself. Furthermore, as a troublemaker, he needed to keep the forces of all sides in a state of balance. Saladin took the initiative to curry favor with him, so once things fell apart, he would have the best chance of taking advantage of the situation. Zhang Yi called out to Zhou Qi from shadow space, "Qi, treat His Majesty Saladin." When Saladin saw Zhou Qi, his eyes were filled with amazement. An Epsilon-level medical mutant? That was extremely rare. Epsilon-level mutants were at the top of the pyramid in every country in the world. Even in the world's top powers, there were no more than 20 such people. Most countries had only 1 or 2, and they were like gods in their countries. Therefore, almost no one would give their most important resources to a doctor who had no direct combat ability. Therefore, Zhang Yi's bringing an Epsilon-level medical mutant undoubtedly demonstrated his wealth and power. Thank you, Your Excellency Chaos. Saladin looked at Zhang Yi with gratitude. This place was too dangerous, and if things continued like this, his life would be in danger. Only Zhang Yi was willing to lend a helping hand at this moment. I'm just trying to complete the sealing of Mammon and do my part for this world. Zhang Yi said grandly. Zhou Qi walked over and placed her hands on Saladin's body. Her hands almost turned transparent, and she quickly confirmed the location of the disease. Then, her hands entered his body as if they were nothing. Saladin's body stiffened, but he did not resist, allowing Zhou Qi's hands to stir inside his chest. At this moment, Zhou Qi could indeed kill him. This made Amir and Halade look nervous. However, after a while, Zhou Qi slowly withdrew her hands. Her face looked a little tired, and she wiped the sweat from her forehead and smiled slightly. Your injuries have been healed. Your physical injuries are fine. I removed the damaged parts and regenerated your flesh. With your physical condition, you will be able to adapt quickly. After saying that, she took out a packet of cookies from her body and handed it to Saladin. Eat some more supernatural food to replenish your strength, and you'll be fine. Saladin clearly felt the burning pain in his body disappear. He looked at Zhou Qi and Zhang Yi gratefully. Thank you both. I will never forget this kindness. With that, he took the cookies Zhou Qi gave him and quickly stuffed them into his mouth. The supernatural food made by Yang Xia had excellent effects on restoring physical strength, supernatural abilities, and mental strength. Zhou Qi smiled faintly and returned to Zhang Yi's side. A special gleam flashed in her beautiful eyes, a look she reserved for Zhang Yi. A good doctor is similar to a butcher. Her pair of skillful hands could heal Saladin, but they could also take his life. Therefore, while treating him, she also left a hidden danger. Once a conflict arose and Saladin attacked Zhang Yi and the others, Zhou Qi would detonate that hidden danger. Of course, if the other party was safe, that deeply hidden danger would never cause any trouble.